Welcome, welcome. We are back. We are back with Adam. Adam is probably one of the coolest people I know. He started Fibonacci and progressive breathing. A lot of his information. He has put a lot of super valuable information on his websites, progressive breathing and Fibonacci. I love his work. He is integrating the breath with cerebrospinal fluid, with body postures, et cetera, et cetera. So we have Adam again here today to take us through a guided breathing practice and to tell us a little bit about Fibonacci and how you came up with this and where it's going.
No, thanks for having me back, Mauro. It's been a while. I can't remember. I think it was probably nearly 12 months from the last time we had a chat, and things have progressed quite smoothly since then, I must admit. But Fibonacci, I mean, just come about really. It's, the breath sequence is aligned with the Fibonacci sequence, which is the golden ratio, which is really the way not only the human is designed, but if we look out there in nature with shells and flowers and all sorts of different things, we see the Fibonacci sequence in everything. But Fibonacci spelt with a QI, chi energy, of course. And that chi energy, we can call it chi, we can call it prana, we can call it life force, we can call it spirit, we can label it whatever you want, but it's there, it's inside of us, our body lives in it, it flows through us, we can cultivate it, we can cultivate chi energy, and we can amplify our states of being quite simply with what we've already got. We're perfectly designed to be able to activate energy centers within the body, and we're all capable and we can all do it. And let's get on with it.
Do it. Let's do it.
Why not? Where's it at? Do we want to stay the same? Like if we continue on the same path that we're going, where does that leave us in 3, 6 or 12 months time or 12 years time, with our body, with our relationships, our connection to nature? I think it starts by reconnecting with the body and reconnecting with yourself. I think it can be done quite easily. There's every breath is alchemy. We're performing alchemy in every breath. It's a happening. It's not an imagination. You can do it. You can happen it to yourself. It's purely a choice. Yeah.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So, I'd love to get into it. What, as a introductory practice, right? What are there sort of a few sort of basic instructions that you would give somebody, and then can you guide us through one?
Yeah, I can. All of those things, but I mean, the breath is the number one pillar to everything that we do. But let's just backtrack from there a little bit. The cornerstone to every breath is correct posture with the mouth and the lips and the tongue and the perineum. So until you actually connect that electrical circuit, that internal electrical circuit that you have, we just breathe. Otherwise, we're just breathing blindly. We're just blowing out a gasket. It's in one end, it's out the other. We're not actually electrifying and charging our battery. We need to charge our battery first, and we need to get our electrical current running. And that's done simply. It's done simply by closing your lips. There's a couple of meridian points on the lips that connects the circuit. Tongue on the roof of the mouth. A little bit of saliva. I'll even backtrack a little bit further. This is how I teach the posture of the mouth. So just place the middle of your tongue on the middle of the roof of your mouth, on the top palate. Close your mouth, even with a firm clench. Now let the tip of your tongue slide down so it sits behind the front teeth, and the tip of your tongue may even be touching the top of your bottom teeth. Create a little bit of suction with the back third of the tongue. Now relax your jaw. Now you've connected your electrical circuit. What's going to turn that circuit on is the tongue, and the breath will regulate the intensity of the electricity that goes through that circuit. So we want to ideally recharge our battery or get that energy running. So just like you'd open the throttle on a motorbike, we can start to pump the sacrum or the perineum at the same time, create some suction with the back third of the tongue, and then just start getting a pumping action flowing. Let's start just reconnecting the electrical circuit and start to get some coherence and some flow there. So that's where it needs to start. So when you're not talking like I am now, laughing, putting food in, perhaps pleasurable things with your partner, we won't go into that too deeply, or doing intense exercise, our lips need to be zipped shut and our tongue needs to be sitting on the roof of your mouth. Always. Always. No excuse for it. Otherwise, you're not coherent. Otherwise, you do not have an electrical circuit running in your body. Any performance will not be at its optimal level unless you have your internal electrical circuit connected. So that's where it needs to start. It needs to start there. Now, for the breathing technique itself, we just really need to retract just back just a little bit. And for the time that we were in the womb, when we were an embryo and we were embryonic breathing through the umbilical cord, and it was a reverse abdominal pumping action. So we need to go back there, and we can expand that a little bit further and a little bit further, but stop with the breathing into the belly. Okay, you're just pulling energy down in those lower chakras. The lungs are not down there. Right, the diaphragm is not down there. The diaphragm is what's needed to pump the energy up and through the heart and back up to the brain. Breathing into the belly is not going to help. It has its benefits, yes, in relaxation when you're not conscious. Yeah, all these things are okay. But for correct breathing, no. We breathe into the lungs. We breathe through the belly and into the lungs. The belly is used, yes. Yes, it's used, but we breathe through, not into. In the out-breath, whatever surplus air is not used will just naturally fall back into the belly for the next in-breath. So there's just some basics that we need to probably adhere to the start before we go into some advanced techniques. But the other key thing behind it all as well, Mauro, is rhythm. It needs to be rhythmic. It can't be huff and puff, and it can't be this and it needs to be rhythmic. The body loves rhythm. That's why it loves dance. That's why it loves movement. It loves rhythm. The breath wants rhythm. The vagus nerve wants rhythm, and so do your organs. So the other thing with reconnecting that electrical circuit as well is you're reconnecting the vagus nerve. That vagus nerve travels down through all the organs. It's also called the wandering nerve, right? Or in Greek, pneumogastric nerve. In Greek, what does pneuma mean? It means breath. So you can control your nervous system through the breath. Like you can regulate your nervous system, or your vagus nerve especially, through your breath. Now, when you start to get that hum and that rhythm through that vagus nerve, it starts to resonate through your organs. Why are they called organs? Well, they're musical instruments. They start to hum and vibrate and orchestrate together like a symphony. And then you start to get the health benefits. Everything starts to align together, vibrate together. So this is why this mouth position and tongue position, we also have 3 very important energy points on our tongue, and 3 inside the mouth as well. So it's like a lock and key. When we start to align them up with the right amount of pressure, the right amount of saliva, these things start to lock into place and other things start to activate. So it's there, it's the posture as well. We need to take away just spine posture, because our spine has a natural wave, of course. So the lordotic curve in the lumbar and in the neck. We want to be laying down, so when we do breathe, and now let's get into the cerebrospinal fluid and how that flows. It doesn't want to be flowing uphill, it wants level, so it can wave, so it can flow through. So when we're laying down, when we're taking out compression, when there's full relaxation, the body can relax, the spine is aligned with the head, right? We can now start to breathe, and those fluids, cerebrospinal fluid, especially, can flow without any restrictions, any constraints, and it can get to where it needs to go. And you can feel it. You can feel it run through your spine. You can feel it run into your brain. Now, I've had some amazing sensations of recent times where I can literally feel the temples of my brain, sucking inwards, and the compression and expansion inside the brain, but I can feel the cerebrospinal fluid pumping through the ventricles, nearly to the point that I can feel the striations within the ventricles pumping through there. It's amazing. But it's just practice. We've got to breathe anyway. Like, let's be honest. It's the cornerstone to everything that we do. But let's start there. Let's get that right. Let's forget about the quick fixes and the immediate satisfaction. Yeah, you can get a little bit cerebral, hypoxia if you do a little bit Wim Hof shit. It's garbage. But wake up, people. Hey, the body's not designed to breathe like that. You're putting yourself in a stressed state. There's no need to go there. But the body will respond when you're in a state of homeostasis, when you're in a state of balance, when you're in a state of relaxation, when you're in a state of presence. When you're imagining these things and you want to get out of the body and all that stuff, it's not the way to go. You need to be present. This is the way it happens. So, yeah. So sorry, I sort of went off on a little bit of a tangent there.
I love it, dude. I love it. Right. So, okay, I've never done breath work before. I've never done, right? I am at the first being. Take me through as if you were guiding me, okay? As if somebody who has never done any breathing exercise before. What would be the first, like, I come to you and, I know you have programs and people can sign up for your programs, which is absolutely fantastic to go deeper into this. But as a starter, can you give us a little bit of seed into what would be, I want to start a breath practice. What would be the first thing? And I've never done it before, and I'm stressed because I live in this world and I've never thought of anything else. Tongue, mouth position. What would it be? As sort of like 1, 2, 3, the most basic to start with for me, or for anybody.
It starts with the mouth. It starts with the closing of the lips and the tongue position. It needs to start there. That's vital. If you don't have that position initially, it's going to be a hard ride or a long ride. So get things right first, and that's tongue position and jaw position and saliva. And I would even encourage people throughout the day to start creating saliva inside their mouth and starting to become more aware of their oral cavities and their sinus ducts and what the saliva does, and even doing tongue push-ups, pushing your tongue up into the roof of your mouth and retraining your tongue and creating saliva and getting that swallowing action again. So with that swallowing action, that creates a vibration all the way down the spine